Does anyone know how to say the word super whatever?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's vaguely
Wow.
it. No, I got it wrong. I mumbled the middle.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh my
Right?
god. He almost
I
got
got
it.
it.
He almost got it.
What do you mean almost? I got it.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Fuck. I added a D.
I'm looking at the spelling. It's a long word, man. What does it mean? Oh, it's a song. Okay, Mary Poppins. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Welcome back everyone to our second episode of Offset, where we discuss films, games, and everything in between. I'm Tarun.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Krishna.
And today we have a lot to talk about. A lot of things happened over the past month, and I think one of the most notable ones that happened, huge shift in the industry for some, I believe, is Schreier leaving Kotaku. Tim, I know you follow Schreier's articles a lot, and what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so just a bit more background for you guys, because obviously some of you guys may not know about it. So we're talking about Jason Schreier. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not 100% sure. So industry guy, very renowned games reporter, sort of well known for having very good sources inside the industry itself. Over the past sort of few months, he's put out some very good leaks that have turned out to be true. Biggest example, I think, was Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC. He was the one who first sort of broke the news on that, and later on it was announced. So he's had some very good sources. This is actually happening. As far as I know, he's left Kotaku now, which is the outlet he was working for, and he's moved to, I believe it's Bloomberg, which is kind of an interesting choice to make. But he's there now, and he's doing their games journalism for them. So basically, what's been happening is that actually quite a lot of staff have left Kotaku. I think they have an issue with their management. I think their parent company just got recently bought out by some corporation. And I think the new management, basically a lot of the people who contribute to that site, they're not happy with it. Since we last discussed, I believe another writer by the name of Heather Alexandra also left Kotaku, sort of with similar concerns. Her departing, that was quite recent as well.
And there was also the writer who did the article on Riot Games who left.
Yeah, just a bit more information, by the way. This is an article I'm looking at from the Washington Post. So Schreier said that his breaking point was when Deadspin fired senior editor Barry Pichetsky for disagreeing with a management mandate to stick to sports, which angered the journalists on staff who had cultivated a reputation for aggressive off-color reporting and eccentric comedy. So, and they argued that it would betray the online readership. So essentially, they saw it as an attack on free speech, I guess, or the kind of reporting they want to do.
I think I know. Like, obviously, we're not as big as them, not nearly as big as how many readers they get. But like, I know, judging from how we work on our site, we kind of have we sort of set it into like a management style. I think we have like a certain way of doing things that we just sort of fell into, like a pattern of how we release content and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like fairly kind of settled. So from what I'm hearing, there's like a new management, and they've just like completely thrown that up in the air, it sounds like. And I know, like, if someone came in and did that to us, I would not be happy about it.
To be fair, Kotaku has a lot of shifts in management. Like, they've always had new owners, and they've never been an issue to them before. This is the first time where it's been a major issue, because it's messing with what kind of content they can release. So yeah, I can understand their frustration, and I think it was wise of Schreier and some other writers to leave and get their voices heard elsewhere on a different platform. I mean,
let me ask you guys this: Kotaku, do you read them?
Yes.
Or not?
Sometimes, yeah.
You do.
Yes.
I know they're generally regarded as a pretty good source for
Mhm.
video game content.
Yeah.
Certainly one of the bigger names out there, I think.
Yeah.
But honestly, with all these people leaving, I don't know if I'm going to keep reading their content.
Oh no, everyone who left is what kind of made Kotaku such a reliable source. And now that they're not
I know
there,
exactly. I was reading, I think it's up to 6 or 8 writers have actually left within the past few months. So it's actually like something bad is going on there.
yeah, now that they're not there, all that integrity of the company is basically gone with those writers. You know, like knowing
Yeah.
if you know the writers and you followed some of their articles, especially Schreier being the most notable one, it's very it hurts Kotaku a lot. And
I mean,
yeah.
I will say this. There is one positive I can see from this situation, which is that Schreier was hired by Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Now, a few years ago, I would have said, is he not going to get hired by like IGN, GameSpot, Polygon, anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
He got hired by Bloomberg, which to me, it really shows that there's like a growing interest in video games.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it's sort of becoming a lot more mainstream in that kind of sense because, Bloomberg is, I think it's like quite a finance focused newspaper, like an outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? So
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
obviously now he's going to be reporting on video games sort of for them. So I'm thinking this is actually a really good sign that, this sort of hobby, if you
Mhm.
like, is really becoming more mainstream because like there's outlets that are interested in sort of having someone who knows the stuff about gaming working for them.
Oh, yeah,
So-
especially with the connections Schreier has in the industry, he was a good pick for any news company.
I mean, they really I think they really scored the jackpot because I know like in terms of hiring him,
Mhm.
simply because we know his leaks have been quite good,
Yeah.
generally speaking, like very, very accurate.
Mhm.
So good for Bloomberg, I guess.
Good for Bloomberg. I hope the other writers find a place for themselves soon as well, the others who left. Schreier is definitely doing well, as we can see.
I mean, it is a kind of a
Kotaku
tough
is good.
industry. So,
Yeah.
everything like game related is kind of tough.
Mm.
So,
Now it's very cute. Now I'm really curious on what's to happen with Kotaku and knowing that they're going to be changing their content and stuff. It's because they were such a
Yeah.
reliable source for a lot of other journalists because of people like Schreier over there. But now that they've all gone, it's very interesting.
obviously, industry is quite unstable.
Yeah,
So, what's happening there, it's
it's.
I don't want to say it's like not, it's a lot, but I don't want to say it's like not unusual.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
not.
not super surprising to be fair that
No.
it's happening. So,
Yeah. And also, in other news with the gaming industry, we got some sort of reveal from PS5, not the console, but the controller called the DualSense. You guys saw the pictures, what do you think of the color scheme, the design? Are you guys skeptical of it looking a bit more like the Xbox controller maybe? What are your thoughts?
I mean, sort of the first thing that you mentioned about the controller is they haven't actually revealed the console.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
this is like a really interesting marketing strategy. I don't know anything about marketing, but as someone who's just like a casual observer, I don't really get, are they trying to build anticipation just by revealing bits of the console before actually revealing console?
Yeah. It's
Is that the
Yeah, I
sort of
think-
idea? Because
They probably
I'm
want
kind
to
of
ride this virus out. Maybe that's why they're
yeah, that could be it.
yeah, they previously front loaded all of this marketing material, but maybe they're spreading it out because of this.
It's actually, Christian makes a really good point there. Just because we recently saw Xbox put on a show, special session of Inside Xbox, and the reception to that has been kind of mixed. We'll get to that later.
yes.
But obviously, in terms of how the coronavirus and all the stay-at-home measures impact, your traditional gaming conferences, that's an interesting point about wanting to ride out the coronavirus, and that sort of does make sense. That they wouldn't want to put everything on while something else is sort of on people's minds a lot. So yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
So I'm just disappointed there's no actual console review yet, but obviously, like you said, there could be a number of reasons why they haven't done that. And the virus is probably one of those reasons.
I mean, the only thing they've commented on about the virus is that they might limit the number of units they have out in the world for people to buy. Was it like 5 to 6 million units, which is quite low for them?
It was a lot less than PS4 or something, or PS3, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
So
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, let's talk about the controller.
Yeah, design-wise, I think it looks really good. I like
I actually
it.
quite like the look
It
of
looks,
it.
yeah, it looks less mechanical and more organic. I want to say, just purely based on visuals. I like the black and white, the interplay of black and white, and the curve in between them. With
It's
the
quite a
blue-
stylish controller, actually.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks very futuristic.
Yeah.
So let's just break down the sort of changes and additions to the hardware. Big thing, two biggest things, of course, the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers. Basically, Sony have sort of said, we'll use those new features. Developers can use those new features, communicate texture and tension. For example, when you're driving, feel the texture of the road in the controller. Tension, for example, when you're pulling on a bowstring in a game, you can sort of feel that as well.
yeah.
The share
For example,
button,
like
which
if you pull the bow even more
Yeah,
and more,
exactly.
I think the resistance on the controller gets higher.
yeah.
Just to provide
So
an
what
example.
they've also done is they replaced the share button on the DualShock 4 with a new create button. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, someone, but I think it basically has the same function as the share button.
They
just renamed
said they would reveal some more details about that feature, but so far there's not been anything. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they better update
also-
the software mechanism for the create button, because right now, I mean, the way I use the share button is I double click on it to video clip, of course, start a video, double click again to end a video recording, hold to screenshot, and then I can only post to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So I hope they expand those options.
You can get it onto your USB.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes.
Yeah. Also, they sort of changed up the shape of the controller a little bit. They changed the grips and the angle of the trigger buttons. That's just for sort of, to improve the ergonomics of it and give it extra increased comfort. The thing I will say about the controller is I like it, and I like it for the specific reason that if you compare it to the controller for the Xbox Series X, Sony's actually tried to change it, try to improve on their last controller. I look at the Xbox controller, the new one for the Series X, and it looks 99.9% the same as the current Xbox controller. I think you could just use them. You could just use the Xbox One controller on the new Xbox, right? I think.
I wouldn't say so, but yeah, go on.
I think there was something about that anyway. Anyways, so yeah, this looks like a bit more of like an upgrade, a bit more of a change. The only thing I kind of like mixed about the new, predominantly white design. I'm kind of like, because I know I've seen like mock-ups on Reddit where someone's just made the controller fully black, and I do prefer it when it looks that way, I think. But it's a cool controller, so I'll point to Sony.
There's a lot about the controller that does look like the Xbox, and I guess one main difference is that the analogs are still not offset like the Xbox One is.
I mean, actually, to be fair, in terms of the Switch, if you have the Switch Pro controller, that's also offset as well. And I actually find offset to be more sort of comfortable in the long run. But I get why they don't want to change, because you look at the DualShock controller, you sort of have this general image of it. And even though it's called the DualSense now, I guess they don't want to mess with that part of it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fair enough.
It's symmetric, at least, which I like. It looks symmetric enough.
It's nice that it looks symmetric. I think one of the reasons they didn't make it offset, even though it's generally proven having the joysticks offset is more comfortable, is that they would be afraid that it'll be compared, and people think like, oh, they just stole it from Xbox. And I feel like it was like a PR decision not to do that. There could be other reasons, but I feel like that's one of the main ones. But despite that, I still think the controller looks great. I'm excited to have it in my hands and play it one day, hoping I can actually get a unit of one of the few million units that's out in the world.
I mean, they'd just be more expensive, but
yeah,
that's what that is.
Another thing is, if you observe closely, they've ditched the colors on the shapes. So triangle used to be green, square used to be pink. The cross used to be, or X used to be blue, and the circle is red. But they wanted to keep a unified color scheme, so I guess I'm not sure. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think the color, color instead of shape is more quickly decipherable when getting the ropes on a new game, learning the ropes on a new game. And so
depends on the person. I think most people, at least most people who play games, they have an idea of where square, triangle, circle, X is, unless you're one of those people who play mostly on their PC, maybe with a controller, or have a Xbox as well, and then you get mixed up where the X button is, because that's a issue everyone has.
Yeah, I guess it's not a problem.
As far as I can tell, if I think I'm correct in saying this, we have three sort of big consoles at the moment: Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. And I believe the X button, it's on a different place on each console.
Wait. Oh yeah. That's true.
I mean, I do want to, like, the controller is cool, but I want them to show me the console.
Yes. Hopefully this month, because there were rumors flying around that they will have something this month, but
there's always rumors flying around, man.
It doesn't look like there's anything. But yeah, speaking of PlayStation, some more news came out, which is about The Last of Us 2. A lot of controversy, a lot of excitement. I don't know which side you're on. Yeah, Last of Us 2. Trailers recently, and one of the main issues, well, not a main issue, but one of the minor concerns is that the game's going to be 100 gigabytes big.
Yeah, I don't like this trend of games getting these huge download sizes.
I don't think you could really call it a trend. I think it's just where technology has come to at this point.
I mean, well, okay, let's talk Last of Us 2. I think we do have to talk about Ghost of Tsushima at kind of the same time.
Yes.
So obviously there was this whole thing last month where they sort of delayed The Last of Us 2 for a bit. I think after that there was sort of a big leak of the game's content. Someone, I believe, hacked into the Naughty Dog servers and sort of downloaded a lot of stuff. So they're still trying to figure that out a little bit, I think. But it was initially reported that it was sort of like a disgruntled employee or a subcontractor, but then they said, that's not true. Naughty Dog's actually been treating their employees quite well during this time. So,
we don't know that for sure after that Schreier article.
Yeah, to be fair, that's true. But they said it was some hacker. So a lot of files got leaked. I know there's some major spoilers going around the internet right now. So, I'm personally trying to stay clear of any sort of material. I know that there's also a bit more controversy caused over the content of what was leaked. But I don't know how much we want to go into that because, it is sort of spoiler territory. So,
I mean, the full story was leaked. It was like 2.5 hours, I think, of cutscenes, and only cutscenes, no gameplay. So, in my opinion, even if you are one of the people who saw the leaks, I would say it's not enough to judge the entire game upon it, even though it is a story-driven game. So I would say give the game a chance. I know there's been a lot of controversy around Naughty Dog recently, but in the end, they all worked really hard on it. So give it a shot. And I know some devs don't agree with that. There have been reports of some devs saying that, I want the game to fail so we can prove that crunch culture doesn't work. And Yeah, again, there's a lot of it's very confusing stuff. In the end, what I'm trying to say is, I know there have been spoilers, but still give the game a chance, or stop spoiling it for other people. I've seen way too many people do that. It's really annoying. I got spoiled by it too.
Yeah, but that's just because you go on 9gag, man. And honestly,
No, this was on Twitter. 9gag, I was able to avoid some stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
man, you gotta just
I avoided
be
the
so
stuff on
careful
9gag.
about this.
See, at least on 9gag, they will tell you they are potential spoilers. You know, avoid this post, whatever. Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, Twitter is just,
it's just there.
it's a whole
but
vomit.
people
Twitter's
just
always been a kind
vomit
of
it.
like a dumpster fire. To be
It's
fair.
very annoying. Okay, and it's just a lot of shitty people doing it. They think they're doing people a service by saving them money. You're not. You're just being a freaking asshole. But anyway, Last of Us 2 got
I think we're
delayed.
just gonna let Turin go on a rant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, Last of Us 2 got delayed to June 11th. I think.
no, June 19th. Bro.
Sorry, my bad. June 19th. And
Oh my God.
Tim and I will definitely be picking it up.
Are you kidding me? Of course I'm gonna be picking up. I'm waiting for this game like forever.
Krishna might pick it up.
I might, yeah. I haven't
no.
even finished Last of Us 1, so.
Literally, we're gonna get you on the record right now as saying you're gonna play The Last of Us because you need to play it, and it's like
I,
literally one of the best games ever made.
yeah.
Like full stop.
Yeah.
To do it.
I will play The Last of Us.
See, everyone heard that. We caught it on audio.
I have it, I just haven't gotten around to finishing it.
And when the date for Last of Us 2 was announced, we also got the release date for Ghost of Tsushima, which is now July 17th.
That has been delayed. So obviously just to give Last of Us some room. Yeah, this is obviously you want people to save money, right?
We got a new trailer for Last of Us 2. You guys saw it. Well, I don't think Krishna saw it. But Tim, you saw it. How was it?
Let me just say that there's sort of like, I don't want to sort of get too much into it because I know some people just avoid like trailers as part of this spoiler whole, avoiding spoilers kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really good. But the parts that impressed me the most are actually the sort of shots in the beginning of the trailer. They sort of re-rendered the sort of scenes and character models from the first game in this new engine, and the effect is kind of subtle, but you can kind of see that they sort of redone it.
Yeah.
And it's in those scenes that the game, like that bit of the trailer, looks the best to me, because it's just like they're really sort of I can sort of tell they're really dedicated towards continuing this story, because it's like really cool that they would have just sort of done that, because all we've seen so far, I think, has been stuff from the current sort of the period of the main game. Like the main story takes place 5 years after the first game. But it's kind of cool to see like a bit of a flashback there. Because you can sort of see, okay, so it's like, it's connected. And it's sort of like, we have an idea of where these characters, have come from and where they're going. So yeah, huge fan of the trailer, I think. Obviously, they're trying to keep it quite low on, what's happening in the story and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. There's clear signs that there's going to be some heavy moments in the game. Like just like the first game, maybe heavier for all we know. And yeah, I'm just excited, looking forward to the game. Despite what anyone thinks of the leaks or the controversy behind Naughty Dog, I'm still going to get the game. I don't care what anyone thinks.
not a fan of the 100 gigabyte save game size.
Yeah.
I know we've complained about this before, especially with Call of Duty, which is just getting ridiculous at this point.
Oh my god, I hate it so much.
I mean, I get it. If it's like, okay, they've added like super, ultra high definition textures and new animations and that kind of stuff. It's a good sign that they're making the world quite detailed, but at the same time, like the number of games they're going to have to delete.
Yeah, I've had to uninstall other games.
Exactly.
To fit in Call of Duty.
I have so many games that I want to keep on my console that's becoming really hard to pick which one I should delete for this new one to play.
I mean, especially like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I know this is not something that we are just complaining about. It's like a huge thing that people really, really hate. which is like you were getting like 10, 15 gigabyte patches.
Oh, and also Ghost of Tsushima, I think Sucker Punch recently showed off some environmental shots of you riding on a horse into the sunset. It looks amazing. World looks insanely detailed and great. And I hope it's not another 100 gig game, but it might be.
Yeah. I mean, between that and our current, I'm sort of reviewing the Studio Ghibli movies as well during this sort of period. Just put one out today, so you guys can check that out. But yeah, we are really like becoming like a weeb kind of channel.
No, Tim, you haven't become. You are not a weeb until you watch Death Note or Attack on Titan. Okay,
bro. Like at this point, like at this rate, like. But if we start reviewing anime, I mean, I'm not personally not opposed to it, but it's just like we're gonna become such weebs, and I'm kind of like, when I'm watching these Studio Ghibli movies, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm kind of getting into that territory. Just cause there's
plenty wrong in being a weeb, there's nothing wrong in being a weeb. Do you understand? And before people criticize my options of anime, I just told Tim hasn't completely delved into the anime stuff, so I'm just giving him starters.
I mean, I haven't delved into it because I know that once I get into it, I won't be able to get out. It's like drugs. I mean, you kept telling me like you should watch My Hero Academia or something like that, which I'm like, I think it's on Netflix, so I'm gonna try that.
Sure, I mean, yeah, if you're starting with anime, that's good. Death Note is very good. I think a lot of people get into anime with that series alone. It's a lot of people's first anime.
Does One Punch Man count as anime?
It is anime, yes.
It does.
It is anime, dude, yeah.
Okay, fuck, I love that.
And other games that are coming up, which we're excited for, Assassin's Creed Valhalla got announced.
Yes, newly announced.
Valhalla.
I don't know if it looks great because they didn't show gameplay, which we'll get into a bit later.
Let's just break it down for you guys a little bit. Valhalla is the next mainstream entry in the Assassin's Creed franchise. It will be out this year, Xbox Series X and PS5, and of course on PC as well, I think. So, like the name suggests, it is about Vikings. So that's the kind of sort of period of history they're going for. Game will be actually set in sort of, I think, is it 7th or 9th century England? I'm going to get this wrong.
9th, I think. 9th.
Yeah, so it's going to be set in England during that period. They sort of said the main character's name is Ivor. Notably, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, can be played male or female. But they have also said that this game will not be as big nor as long as Odyssey, which I am kind of glad about because Odyssey was so long. And huge, not to mention. Yeah, and there'll be settlement building. You can go raiding in your longship, all that kind of stuff. We were supposed to get a sort of gameplay teaser, bit of gameplay during the Inside Xbox sort of live stream they had recently. Long story short, we didn't get that, and it's caused a bit of an uproar at the moment.
And also, just to mention, like, I know some people have been defending that quote-unquote gameplay trailer. It's, in the words of Jeff Keighley on his own personal stream, gameplay does not equal in-game footage, okay? We got no gameplay.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about Inside Xbox soon.
Yeah, we'll get that to later. But Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I know, Tim, you're excited.
No. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah,
I am.
There's a very unsure.
I mean, I still kind of have mixed feelings about the trailer. It wasn't like super wow or anything, right? Because there are certain trailers that are just like, whoa, I need to do this. I need to play this game. That wasn't really one of those trailers. It's good, but I'm kind of like,
Yeah, I feel like
so kind of hyped for it though, because
yeah. When I watched the trailer, I was enjoying it, but it was I was trying to look for the actual Assassin's Creed element in this trailer, and I feel like Ubisoft are losing touch with their audience because everyone were missing the hidden blade, right? It wasn't in Odyssey. It was in Origins for a bit at the end. But yeah, when they showed it in the trailer, it was supposed to be this big wow moment, and yes, it was for a few people and for a bit. But then like that's not why people are hating on Assassin's Creed now. I think a lot of Assassin's Creed fans is like, the series isn't Assassin's Creed anymore because you've completely changed everything up. And that's fine because it's still a good game. And, in my opinion, as someone who's been following this series since Assassin's Creed 2, I really do miss the old style of how Assassin's Creed used to be.
So basically what they've done is it used to be like a stealth game. And now it's like an RPG basically. And I know like some people really don't kind of like that sort of thing because it's sort of like, I know it sort of started in Origins and then like Odyssey, which is like an RPG, and then
okay, it was never really a stealth game fully. People still, because I think people still had a
it was
complaint.
more about stealth back then than it is now.
No, but that's the thing. It was not that much of a stealth game. It was more of an action game than a stealth game.
An action game,
yeah,
action adventure game.
But there was more stealth elements, which made the whole assassinating thing very interesting and fun, and all the missions really cool. And the thing with the RPG stuff, it's hard to do that. It's hard to be stealthy because because they changed everything up. And also, I feel like the story has derailed from whatever they were going for before. They say they have an ending written, but I don't know where they're going with this. And as a fan of the Assassin's Creed series, I feel like it's they're just stretching it out. But I do hope this game is good. And I do hope it kind of brings it back to their original goal.
Also, you get to play as a Viking, so that's like...
Yeah. Oh, and the interesting thing, like male and female are canon, which is unlike the last game where it was just Cassandra who was canon.
I mean, I played as Cassandra anyway, just because the voice acting was better. So.
That's true.
I mean, no offense, but like...
No, that's true. And also...
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm like kind of interested how they managed to make both roles, like both male and female canon. Maybe they fight side by side. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess, yeah. Well, with that, we do need to talk about the gameplay, whatever you want to call it, gameplay trailer. If you
the
want to
in-game footage trailer, yeah.
So we're talking, of course, about Inside Xbox. So essentially, Microsoft, they held a stream, I think it was yesterday, a couple days ago, basically where they were showing off games for the Xbox Series X not from first-party developers, but from third-party developers. They said they're going to hold sort of a big event for first-party developers in July, I believe it's going to be, which is when they're going to show Halo and Forza and all that kind of stuff. This was for third-party developers, I think. Sort of leaning very heavily on the whole we're working from home kind of thing. Few games were shown. I know we got Vampire Bloodlines. They also showed games like Scorn. There was a new Dirt. And of course, it was supposed to be where they showed gameplay for the new Assassin's Creed. I don't know what your guys' impressions of the whole stream were. I was not at all sold by what they were showing. In terms of, this was supposed to be the first big showcase of the Xbox Series X in terms of games. A lot of developers featured, but it was quite underwhelming, I found, in terms of what they had to show.
Yeah, there wasn't much gameplay, just in-game footage. But no, some titles were interesting. Scorn was pretty interesting.
Very Vampires. Alien inspired. I thought that was like an Alien game for
Yeah.
a second there, but it's not. It's something else.
Yeah, if Vampire's interesting, apparently it's gonna be like a RPG game. Like you can pick your own choices, be good or bad. I don't know. It looks interesting from what I've heard.
A few interesting games, but overall kind of lacking something. Flair? I don't know. It's sort of like, I guess it's like the virus is getting to them a bit, and it's sort of like it doesn't really work as well if you sort of live stream it, maybe.
No, it should work. It's just that the content was so lackluster. Like, especially the gameplay trailer for Assassin's Creed, which was supposed to be their big finale. Whoever
It wasn't really a gameplay trailer at all.
exactly,
so.
whoever was responsible for that trailer really screwed up, in my opinion. Like, it's not what you promised.
Recently, I know some people working at Microsoft and Xbox, they sort of come out and said on Twitter that we realized we set the wrong expectations for people during that stream. Sorry about that. God, yeah, we were sort of watching Jeff Keighley sort of stream it on the Game Awards sort of YouTube channel. We got quite a bit of amusement out of that, actually, because he didn't seem particularly interested about what was going on as well. So.
Yeah, he had the best look on his face.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, basically inside Xbox, very lackluster, and I don't think there's too much to talk about other than a few games that looked interesting.
I mean, I would say this: it does look better than what PlayStation has shown us, because PlayStation has shown us nothing. So, I mean, I remember saying to you guys that this was, I think they were trying to extend their advantage over PlayStation because they have one right now, and they somehow didn't manage to do that.
Yeah,
which is really strange.
Microsoft are still working on their marketing strategy, and it's not really gone well for them so far. They started out strong, to be fair. Xbox had a really strong start with the Xbox Series X, and now it's kind of gone a bit downhill. Maybe they'll pick it back up again at when they do their second stream with the first party studios.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, Tim and I had the pleasure to play Project Resistance.
Okay, for those of you guys who don't know, that is the multiplayer portion of the Resident Evil 3 remake. I love the single player. This, on the other hand, well, my review speaks for itself, really.
Basically, don't play it. It's not worth your time.
It was bad.
It felt really janky, very broken, not thought out. Just a concept that seemed like a good idea and probably could be a good idea if executed well. This just was executed very poorly.
I mean, they sort of have tried to do multiplayer Resident Evil before, and it's not really worked out. And this is just a sort of continuing that trend. So
yeah,
I mean,
very bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, just wanted to get that out of the way. We want to talk a bit of some news from films and TV, which there haven't been much of lately. But one of the
that's
bigger...
not surprising because the whole movie industry is currently shut down. So.
Yeah. But one of the more notable news that we got was that Sam Raimi is going to be directing Doctor Strange 2 after losing their first director. I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
Scott Derrickson.
Scott Derrickson.
Scott Derrickson. Okay.
Scott Derrickson, yeah.
Just completely embarrassing to ruin there because
I don't
remember it.
I love films, but I don't follow it as much as the two of you, I think.
To be fair, games are actually bigger than film. Did you know that?
Now they are, the industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sam Raimi, Doctor Strange 2.
Yay! Right,
very
guys?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he did the original, not the original, but the 2000 Spider-Man series of trilogy of movies, which was iconic and iconic Spider-Man movies till now. I know they're Spider-Man 1 and 2 are some of my favorite Spider-Man movies. So seeing him taking on Doctor Strange 2 has me excited. Also knowing because Sam Raimi has a horror background, I'm sure that's one of the reasons they settled on him, and that was the main reason why they had Scott Derrickson before. I
would say solid choice.
It's a very good choice. We know Sam Raimi can do well with comic book movies. He's very passionate about comic books and comic book heroes. He was such a fan for Doctor Strange that he referenced him back in his Spider-Man trilogy of movies. Very, very cool, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope he does a good job, and I really hope they don't go away from the horror genre, because I would really like to see a Doctor Strange horror movie.
I mean, I keep saying this, it's not enough to just be a good superhero movie anymore. You need to be something different to really, get the attention.
Yeah.
So, you can't just but putting the horror slant in it, which I think New Mutants has been delayed again. They were trying to do that. But obviously things are not going well for that movie because, my God.
Don't even know what's
The
happening.
universe doesn't want it to be released.
It's like the movie is done and edited and everything. The only things left is to release it, and they just have been pushing it to get other projects out
I'm telling you,
first.
man, at this point, the universe just doesn't want it. That's it. It's just like, no. Sends you a virus together.
Just like
No.
the Gambit movie. Remember that
God.
was a thing with Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
that's-
never happened.
I don't even know if that's going on anymore, but it
That was
seems like
way
it's
back
just-
in like 2016 or something.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I think it's further than that.
Even
But
before that, yeah.
yeah, it's just dead now, I think. No news about it at all. I think it's just gone.
Yeah. Nobody cares about Gambit. So
Krishna says.
No, Gambit is cool. It's just, it kind of sucks.
he's cool, but the general audience doesn't
I just,
know who Gambit
no,
is, so.
he's a cool character. I just don't think Gambit can hold on his own movie. Like, I don't think he can.
Probably not, yeah.
Yeah.
He's good as a sidekick, but he's like Hulk almost.
No, Hulk can have good movies. You've seen Planet Hulk, right? The animated movie.
No.
Well, too bad.
Yeah, maybe I should. Okay.
They're working on Hulk stuff because now I think they recently got the rights for it from Universal, so that'll be cool. But yeah, Krishna, you have any thoughts on Raimi taking over Doctor Strange?
I'm excited.
Have you seen his past horror works? I know you're a horror fan.
Not really, but yeah, maybe I should check it out. Evil Dead, right?
What did he do? Is it Evil Dead? I think it is Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has he directed lately?
Lately, he did.
Yeah.
He's got some sort of new TV show, hasn't he? That's why he was publicizing it or something. Yeah, I don't know.
He produced The Grudge, I think. I see it on the movie list on Google.
Yeah, he did. That's true.
He directed
And Don't Breathe and Crawl.
He directed Drag Me to Hell.
Why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah, it's the one with the blonde girl and the old creepy lady.
Oh right, yeah, okay, yeah. And she's like a witch or something. I don't know. Try it out.
I thought it was okay, but a lot of critics seem to like it, so I don't know. But Sam Raimi, great.
I'm kind of psyched for that because I think Doctor Strange is probably one of my favorite Marvel movies.
I like it purely from a visual standpoint.
It's super cool.
I didn't really like the story. I thought it was kind of mediocre, but the visual stuff was amazing and saved the movie a lot for me.
Yeah. I think the villain in Doctor Strange, like the villain they're planning to go with in Doctor Strange 2, he seems interesting. He's called Nightmare. He's the personification of nightmares and often referred to as the demon prince of the dreamscape.
News on other directors working with Disney. Taika Waititi is coming to a Star Wars project.
Yes, newly announced. Obviously, we don't know anything about it because it's Star Wars. Don't expect to see that for a while yet. Years, certainly. There was also some interesting news. I read Josh Trank, who was supposed to be the director for the Boba Fett movie before that was cancelled. Turns he was speaking. He spoke out about why that sort of disappeared. Apparently, according to him, they were really, really close to actually just announcing the Boba Fett movie at Star Wars Celebration, which is their sort of annual event. Then he and sort of Kathleen Kennedy, they sort of agreed with each other to say, we're not going to announce it. And eventually he just left the project. So
wasn't it because like Solo didn't do well?
That's sort of the rumor, I think. You guys can look into the details. But yeah, just sort of interesting that, I mean, not surprising. I think we sort of all know that things are not that great behind the scenes of the whole Star Wars kind of production. Obviously some problems going on there. Rise of Skywalker didn't turn out great at all. So
that was just production hell, dude. They did not discuss a whole roadmap, which they should have done, and I think it would have definitely improved a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Clone Wars is finished. You guys can read my review for that on the site. Pretty good. obviously there's like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear anything more about this project for like a long time. And, if it's eventually cancelled, that's also not surprising because, just given their general track record of putting things in production and then just like leaving them as...
After watching Rise of Skywalker, I was thinking about the comment J.J. Abrams made about Rian Johnson's script on The Last Jedi. Now I think I know why he said, "Oh, I wish I was directing it," was so that he could fix.
Because he had no idea how to. Yeah.
Because so he could be like, you know what, this might not turn out well for the third movie. I don't know. See, I feel like The Last Jedi should have been the 7th episode, and then Rise of Skywalker, like the first half of it should have been.
I've said this once, and I will say it again as many times as it needs to be said. It's not a good sign when you come out of a movie. I'm talking about The Rise of Skywalker here. It's not a good sign when you come out of a movie and know that you could have written a better story yourself. It's not good when you come out and you see like plot points like, no, I could have done that better.
Rise of Skywalker had a lot of fan service, which was just not needed. Like there's a line which they just went way over. And
I mean, I will raise this interesting point because we are also talking about the MCU and we're talking about Star Wars sort of at the same time. And I saw this really interesting, like, sort of opinion piece or sort of opinion that was given. I can't remember exactly where it was, but they said was the thing about Star Wars is basically like it can't compete anymore because back in its day it was like the only big thing. Nowadays, essentially what this article said was basically the MCU has killed it. Because the MCU is bigger, it's more frequent, it has all the stuff, it's like bigger spectacle. In Star Wars, it just cannot keep up no matter what they do because it's just like the structure of it is different and it's just like it's completely been superseded in terms of popularity, in terms of content, all that kind of stuff.
So basically Disney shot themselves in the foot.
Yep, pretty much.
But yeah, sad for J.J. Abrams, but he's recently announced that he's taking up a new project from DC, which is a Justice League Dark TV show, which will be coming on HBO. Am I right?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
correct.
HBO, but
Correct.
probably.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I really hope Constantine.
Even though what he did.
I mean, I trust JJ. I feel like he was just dealt a bad hand with Rise of Skywalker. But I trust him, and I hope he does well with this show. I think he can do well.
I'm still looking forward to The Mandalorian. I'm going to tell you that much.
Yeah, I think JJ Abrams can.
This year, so.
I think JJ Abrams can do well with the TV show, just because he can branch out the stories.
Oh, cool news actually about The Mandalorian. Obviously, we had the news that I think Rosario Dawson has sort of been rumored to be cast to play Ahsoka, which is huge. I was also reading today that they've also cast Tamara Morrison, who played the clones in Jango Fett in the prequel trilogy. He's going to come back to play Boba Fett, which is, wow. So I know that sort of canonizes that he survives what happens to him in Return of the Jedi. Super cool. Also rumored is that they've cast, they're talking with Hayden Christensen, who played Anakin in the prequel trilogy. He's either going to be, I think he's going to be reportedly showing up in the Obi-Wan show they're doing, supposedly, which is also super cool. So, obviously they're really getting into the whole casting business, getting recognizable faces.
We'll probably see if he does show up in that Obi-Wan series, it'll probably be flashbacks because it's going to be set after episode 3, right?
It is, but it's still kind of cool that they're going to try to go for that. So,
but yeah, back to about Justice League Dark.
Do we know what characters they're using? Do we know anything other than J.J. Abrams is directing?
We just know he's doing a TV show for Justice League Dark. And I know a lot of one of the notable key members for Justice League Dark is Constantine. Yeah. And I hope he's part of it. I don't know what actor they'll bring in. If they bring in Matt Ryan from the CW.
You guys know there's a movie, right? The animated movie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I watched it as well. It's pretty good. And they got Matt Ryan to voice Constantine because he's done such a great performance as Constantine in the CW shows. He's been called to do voices for the character in a lot of the animated movies. So if Justice League Dark I assume it's going to be live action.
I don't know. Hope so.
I mean, it's on HBO, so
yeah, it should be live action.
Yeah. I think
if it is, it'll be interesting if they get Matt Ryan. I don't know if they can because of he's already on a CW show.
Let me put this to you. There was actually the first time Constantine the character appeared in live action was in 2005. And you know who played him then?
Keanu Reeves.
But who would be opposed to Keanu Reeves, guys?
I don't know. I think between him and Matt Ryan, I think I prefer Matt Ryan.
Also, I feel like Keanu Reeves would be expensive as hell.
Yeah.
To get on a...
Some of the main characters, John Constantine, Zatanna,
Deadman, I think, right?
Deadman.
Deadman is another character.
Swamp Thing is an on and off again team member, just because he's kind of on his own side, or I think he's on the side of nature. But yeah, so Krishna, you watched Tiger King. How was it?
Oh man, where to start? Okay, so Tiger King, I think I'm gonna tell you that right now. Those of you listening to this, you should absolutely watch it. America is a very special country, so I think Tiger King will help you get to know some very unique people and make you think about some quite a few sensitive issues in the world today. So it's about animal rights and
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic mainly, but I mean the larger issue is animal rights. But yeah, this is a mockumentary basically. It's a 7 or 8 episode mockumentary. Each one is about 40 to 50 minutes, and you can finish it in one day quite easily. Like once you start, it really pulls you in and doesn't let go. So it's a very dramatic show. It introduces you to a lot of unique and bizarre characters, to say the least, and you will be entertained throughout. So if you're looking to take your mind off things, namely the coronavirus or whatever it is you do for work or you just usually, then just sit down and watch Tiger King, finish it within half a day. Yeah, that's all I have to say, and we really recommend it.
Yeah, Krishna did a review for it on our website, so if you didn't check it out, please go. I hear a lot of interesting things that's come out from the show. I haven't watched it myself, but a few people have told me or recommended it to me to watch it, including Krishna. So maybe one day, but I'm like also focusing on a lot of other things as well. So we'll see if I ever get to it, but I do hope to get to it. Yeah, it's Carol, what was it? Carol Baskin?
Carol Baskin. Yeah, she killed her husband, no doubt.
Okay. Okay. Interesting person.
I think for legal reasons, we actually can't say that. We have to say allegedly.
Oh, okay, shit. Sorry. Let's just bleep that part out, and then. Okay, I'm gonna say apparently Carol Baskin killed her husband.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean, I get you guys want to be like hard hitting. You guys don't want to hold anything back with your opinions, but yeah, just.
So Tiger King is one of many shows and media that is out there for a lot of people to consume and for us to look forward to. But lately in the past month, I don't know, what have you guys been doing? Like,
right, that's just free talk. What have you guys been doing?
Actually, I just scored an internship, so yay. I've been looking for work for a long time. After February, where my job expired, basically. So yeah, it's good to have something to do and some money coming in. So yeah.
Yeah, especially tough during this time to find a job anywhere.
Yeah, it's been kind of interesting actually. So obviously we do need to talk about our virus a little bit. Interestingly, over the past month or so, things have sort of, I think we've kind of reached like an equilibrium of kind of a sort. It's sort of like getting used to the lifestyle and sort of, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a new normal.
Yeah, which is sort of disturbing in its own way, but it's good that you've sort of found the sort of leveled out in terms of all the the stress and the tension, all that kind of stuff. So
Just to clarify, we're talking about Bangkok, Thailand, not US, because we know it's still kind of bad over there.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah.
I know it's still really, really tough in some places. Just got to keep staying strong, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of ruined everyone's plans. A lot of issues around the world, especially with employment and, of course, the disease spread. But I think a lot of countries have starting to get it a bit under control, and so that's a good sign. Well, anyway, during this quarantining, anyway, I finally started my playthrough of The Witcher 3.
Hey, I know. I've been saying I just started that as well.
Yes.
It's like the biggest game in my backlog right now, I think.
It is. And
So,
I
yeah.
cannot believe this game has been in my backlog for so long. I don't know why I didn't start it sooner. I mean, I kind of know just because everything seemed so intimidating. But once you get into it, you're just sucked in. And it's an amazing journey. Especially in this time, if you have like all the time in the world to spend on it. It's, I would recommend anyone to play through Witcher 3 who hasn't yet, like who have it in their backlog and it's just sitting there.
You mean like me?
Yes, it may seem intimidating, but just take the leap. Tim, I can kind of excuse because he's trying to get through Nioh 2 right now, trying to get that review out as soon as possible.
I mean, Nioh 2 is like my Moby Dick. It's like the white whale. And it's just like, one of these days I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get through it.
But yeah, Witcher 3, like when did that game come out? Was it like 2013? It came out in 2015. Okay. So I'm surprised like how much detail is being put into that game. Like the world is so alive, all the characters are
I've always heard it's supposed to be
many.
like one of the best RPGs ever.
Yeah,
So
like each
yeah.
side quest has such a deep rooted background and backstory within it. Like it blows me away for every single quest I do, and I do truly feel like I'm on this huge journey just to get Siri back, and it feels incredible.
I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk just because I know Witcher has such a good reputation. Cyberpunk looks insane already, so
Yeah, Cyberpunk looks great, and now I'm really looking forward to Witcher 4, which they've said that they've started working on. So yeah, that's going to be great.
I mean, personally, what I've been doing is just a lot of Modern Warfare. I'm sure you guys can relate. A bit of Overwatch. I've also been still playing Animal Crossing. That game, I know I said in my review, like, it's likely that I'll still be playing this game like even months from now. That's not changed. It's like, it's still true. Still playing it a bit every day. Yeah, because they've added they sort of updated it recently with new content, so that's been kind of cool. Yeah, but obviously that game's hugely popular for, because everyone's stuck indoors, and it's like the perfect escape. Nintendo really does know their marketing, apparently. So, yeah.
What about you, Krishna? Just a lot of COD?
Just a lot of COD. Day before yesterday, I spent like, I think 4 hours just unlocking new guns and trying different attachments and optimizing each gun. I tried the MP7, the MP5. What else? What else did I try? I tried some LMGs, just all in multiplayer because that's the mode I'm comfortable with. I don't play as much Warzone because there's too many variables to take into account, like money, and loadout drops
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
I mean, I have to get good first. So
Wow.
I focus on
Wow.
multiplayer.
Get good.
I mean,
Yeah.
get good. I mean,
Yeah.
like I don't play Warzone either. I think
It's solo is very hard.
yeah.
to be frank.
It's just sort of like
No, don't play solos. I mean, play solos if
Yeah.
you guys like, but it's not the best mode to have fun on.
interesting point. Actually, connected with that is I know Activision. I think they said that there is still going to be a new COD. The whole big news behind that was, of course, I think Warzone is going to be the sort of thing that connects all the COD games going forward.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do you guys watch any like COD Warzone videos on YouTube? I've watched a lot of them. So there's this channel called Jack Frags. Shout out to Jack Frags. You really helped me with your gameplay experience. So Jack Frags, Sour, who else? Benny. Yeah, those people. I watch their videos, and yeah, they're quite interesting. They go into like loadouts you can use, like good loadouts. They do tests of guns. I recently watched a video where they did a test of FMJ, and they cleared up a misconception that FMJ does more damage. It's actually it actually doesn't do more damage. It simply penetrates through walls. So something you should know.
yeah. In case you haven't told, Christian's got really into Call of Duty. I think okay. We should discuss what we have upcoming. So next week, Christian should have his first game review out, which is very exciting. I'm actually low-key quite hyped for this. Not for the game itself, just for Christian to do it. Review itself. That'll be
It'll be interesting to see how I review games. Yeah.
yeah. John Wick Hex recently released, so Christian is doing the review for that. What else, guys?
Yeah. Keep your expectations low, please. Both for my review and this game.
We're obviously going to be still doing the Studio Ghibli movie reviews. Just going to keep doing that until I'm like
Done with them.
gone through all of them. Yeah. What else?
What else? You can catch us next month. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, yes. True.
Follow our Twitter and Instagram to see updates.
The links to those will be in the description. Obviously, like and subscribe to this video.
You need to like. It's so hard. Why does YouTube make it so hard? You need to like. You need to subscribe. You need to click on the bell icon to get updates. I get that it's hard work, but please do it, guys. We need some support. Yeah, thanks for making us part of your day. See ya.
Bye.
See you next month.